Hey guys, just wanted to do my reaction video to Agents of SHEILD Season 5, Episode 19, Option 2. So last episode, Fitzsimmons taken hostage by Warner von Strucker and Ruby Hale, trying to force the couple to infuse the latter with gravitonium and become a destroyer of worlds. And she was only able to be infused with 8% of the gravitonium because it was driving her insane, just like Creel, because of the voices of Ian Quinn and Franklin Hall inside of her head. And she wasn't really able to control her powers to the point where it's like she accidentally killed Warner von Strucker, and she accidentally almost killed Fitzsimmons. Daisy tried to come in and try to talk her down and I guess take a page out of Coulson's book and try to be like, take the moral high ground, be the better person, and realize she's just a kid who's just been a product of her environment, and showing that she was following Coulson's example. But then Yo-Yo came in, and in a combination of revenge for having her arms cut off and in an attempt to save the world, she ultimately ended up just killing Ruby because she couldn't be talked down and was like destroying the environment around her. It was like, and almost killed everybody around her. So Yo-Yo decided to make the call to just pretty much take her out, which pretty much ended the truce that General Hale had with SHIELD, because she was worried about her daughter's well-being, and just basically sold them out to the Confederacy and how they were in possession of the gravitonium, and gave them the seal of approval to lead the invasion, to basically just take the gravitonium back. So it's basically, we have one alien invasion taking place with another alien invasion led by Thanos in Avengers Infinity War, so it'll be interesting to see if there will be any references to the latter, how it's all ties together, especially considering it seemed like the Marvel movies seem to want to have distance themselves from what's going on in the TV shows as much as possible. But hey, maybe I will be surprised. I don't know, but that just seems to be a thing.
And she went off when you cut her throat. A gravity surge knocked everyone back and disrupted our equipment.
She slipped away. I was afraid you'd have to quake Ruby and crack the Earth.
That shouldn't even be an issue. Speaking of cutthroat.
All right, let's keep it
There would already be a
productive.
crack in the universe of the Earth.
Look, I did what I did. I'm not proud, but it was the right choice.
It was revenge. You let your emotions get the best of you. Ruby should be locked up, and she's not the only one.
All I did was kill you? We all have blood in our hands. Why am I being singled out?
That's not what we do here. This is SHIELD. We protect.
She was a psychopath. Ask Fitz.
No, just look at his cracked rib. If you'd have seen what she was like, she was.
I didn't get a chance. I was too busy screaming to be let out of a cell.
Fitz shouldn't have even been there.
We delayed their plan.
Ruby would be free.
But this isn't about the decision, is it? This is about not following your orders.
It's about both.
Well, we didn't pick you. Coulson
Ouch.
made a decision and brought you back when he could have broken that loop right there.
All right, stop it.
That's destruction.
Which is great, because that definitely won't affect me at all. Look, it's not like I'm just gonna blink out of existence. I lived in one timeline, but now I live in this new one, and I think I'm gonna stay in the one with the sun and tacos and all that, because that's the multiverse, that's science.
Well, you're a canary in a coal mine.
I don't know what either of those things are.
We won't know if we're successful at changing the future unless you blink out of existence.
This.
Gemma agrees. She actually wrote a paper on the theory.
Nobody knows how it works. Now be careful. This substance is extremely unpredictable.
Just make sure that gets
He's
to
your
the Zephyr.
grandkid. You can't at least try to open up to him.
I carried this around on my belt for...
The landing assist beacon. The only way to get a signal out.
43.9462-76.1191. Phil, tell me that's not what I think it is.
Our location.
lighthouse is experiencing an extreme weather event. Press 1.
Agent Coulson, I can't silence the alarms.
If you're experiencing a nuclear attack, press 2.
Screw it.
For an alien invasion, press 3. You have selected nuclear attack for your own health, safety, and radiation protection. All outer doors will remain sealed for 15 years.
Did he just say 15 years?
How was I supposed to know there would be an alien invasion option?
You always listen to the whole menu. Always.
Whoops.
You will be dealing with me now. I'm here for what was promised. The gravitonium.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard pass.
Is he supposed to be
Maybe
a Kree that they were just too lazy to give makeup to?
Apocalypse-proof. It can withstand a nuclear blast. We have years of food, water, and air.
Is that true?
Not good food.
And pretty soon the world's going to
Or just
realize
another
there's
alien.
this giant ship in its atmosphere. And I'm thinking in the current...
Same.
No, that's not what I meant.
No wonder you're pulling away.
You're pushing me away. But you think I don't care about what happened in your arms?
You don't care enough. How can you not want that girl to suffer for what she did?
I wanted to beat her senseless. But that's not what we do. That's not us. We turn the other cheek.
Did you say that to May? Huh? That she could have saved that little girl in Bahrain? No. Because she made the tough choice to save lives. In the framework, you saw the alternative.
In the future, we swore. We swore we wouldn't lose ourselves.
I know.
We'll lose each other.
It didn't matter. It's all happening right now. Everything she told me.
She who?
This right here. This is how we lose. She was me. She's lived through this, through the loop, who knows how many times.
Exactly. You don't know. We haven't lost yet. And as far as we know, they can't get in.
They can go wherever they want.
You better believe we're going to do everything possible to keep him alive.
They can go wherever they want.
Oh, shit.
They're marauders. They're intergalactic scavengers with no planet of their own, so they just take from others, and wherever they go, darkness follows.
Darkness. That's a little vague.
Well, it's not the concept of darkness, it's literal darkness. It follows them because they're magic, and they can see in the dark, and we can't, so it makes them kill us better with their claws.
Did you say claws?
Yeah, did I not mention the foot-long razor claws? Because, yeah.
Will people in the future survive? There must be a way to stop them.
No, we didn't stop them. We just gave them whatever they wanted, and then said thank you and cleaned up the bodies after they left.
Weird kid. Drew me a picture of a blue lady juggling someone's balls.
Pretty sure they were her balls.
Aliens, you know? Have you seen all this weird stuff happening in New York?
No, I can't watch the news. It makes me crazy. Look, I gotta get back, so...
Agent Johnson, you know what they call me, the peed serum. I think from the shape of it. That's the last one, so don't waste it.
I'm familiar. This is a start. Thank you.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, though, Garrett's cocktail had an extra healing component that was designed and developed by the Nazis. So that's impossible to get.
Nothing's impossible. It's one element. What is it?
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
I can fix this.
Oh, duh. Yeah, you
Tell
can. Not like that. No way. Okay, for one thing, I had no idea that, after Jiaying was killed, they even bothered to give her a proper burial, considering she's become, a mass murderer who wanted to start a war between humans and inhumans. So go figure. I guess it was kind of a plot convenience that she had a grave that. I mean, it's weird that. I mean, the thing is that technically dead corpses usually decompose after, I think, like completely decompose after 2 to 3 days. Of course, and she's been dead for like season 2, like 3 years now. But they're probably gonna say like, oh, inhuman, her body could, still be preserved and crap like that. So, especially since it was basically, her body was basically just mutilated, and Daisy's dad was still able to, reconstruct the body and bring her back together. I don't think we're going to see a Jiaying resurrection. I would be surprised. I mean, it'll be also kind of cool considering this is probably going to be the last season of Agents of SHEILD, especially, I mean, also given what happens in Infinity War, I would be shocked to see how it's going to address this, and I would be pleased at how they will be able to continue on to a 5th season after those events. And just for the record, I'm trying to keep any reference to Infinity War as vague as possible, so just as a courtesy to anybody watching this video, please don't post any spoilers down in the comment section below. I'm going to upload a spoiler review of Infinity War tomorrow night. So please just like wait till that video is uploaded to post any spoilers about the movie. That being said, now also, Yo-Yo realizing, as first being unrepentant for her actions, having to come to terms with the fact that her whole ends justify the means mentality that she's been starting to take on, especially in terms of trying to stop the apocalyptic futurist, alienating Mac, who just wants to take the moral high ground and uphold the principles of SHIELD, and she's just, so that kind of puts them at odds. And May being the voice of reason, saying that you have to decide whether or not you did the right thing, and regardless of whether that's up to you, but just remember, it's going to change how you feel about yourself and how other people feel about you. And then of course she realized it was all for nothing when she says that when she finds out that Daisy went to go find something to resurrect, keep Coulson alive, which is a little bit odd, which also makes it seem her actions feel a lot less altruistic. It was just like purely revenge, even though Yo-Yo denied otherwise. If she even knew the information that Coulson being kept, efforts to keep Coulson alive won't lead to the apocalyptic future. So of course that also, it takes away any kind of like altruism in Yo-Yo's action in killing Ruby. It just makes it was just purely out of revenge. And she's just trying to like rationalize or just probably even straight up lie about it. But yeah, the fact that I think the most shocking thing was that not only, having to do with the Marauders. At first, you thought in the previews they were supposed to be Kree, but they were Marauders, and creating this kind of like horror I guess like horror film kind of feel without having to rely on the roaches like from the future, especially since the CGI was kind of iffy, and it shows on a budget, so it was kind of hard for them to perfect the CGI and make it look scary. It was having like Marauders like around like stalking people and in the dark and cutting out the power was it did create for tension and stakes, and I think one of the most shocking things was not only Talbot going out of his way to bond himself with the gravitonium and also seemed to understand what the device did. I guess maybe he picked that up from being captured by Hydra for so long, but also being able to exert level control over the gravitonium that neither Creel or Ruby was, and not only being able to, and of course that that panning shot of the crate that says gravitonium is that it was covered to just say graviton was basically the way of telling the audience that it was ultimately Talbot is going to be the show's version of graviton, and I guess become the destroyer of worlds that kept being referred to throughout the season. So granted he might deal with the threat of the Confederacy, help deal with the threat of the Confederacy. It's almost like they might have inadvertently traded one threat through another, through the whole domino effect of, being taken to the future, so there was nobody to rescue Talbot, and then him being at the mercy of General Hale and his brainwashing, and it's just, it's a tragic element of like how these events are kind of like falling into place when they're, trying to prevent all this stuff from happening. But anyway, it's a solid episode. Based on the previews for next week, it's kind of exciting to see where this is going to go, especially to how we finally going to get to see Graviton on this show, considering he was foreshadowed in like episode 5 of Agents of SHEILD, but then that whole plotline almost seemed like it was just kind of dropped and forgotten about. So it was nice that they finally came back to it this season. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. And stay tuned for my Avengers spoiler review.